As we passed through the portal of the book moon, we could feel strange attractors drawing our fate towards the spectacle of eternal sleep in a strawberry bed, like the title of a song or a story or a mystery of an image we perceive and consume beyond the physical reality of our own personal experience. Something floating in the ether and reproduced in the simulacrum of the mass media that pretends to be reality, even though it can't be touched or perceived beyond 2 dimensions on a flickering screen. And when we read the banal facts of a 56-year-old man passing through the veil due to an accident, we wonder, how does a 56-year-old man decide to go for an early morning ride on his individual machine when he has a 6-year-old child? What drew him into his fate? And our mind goes back to romantic stories, the golden age, hovering in fantasies of the past, like in 1966 when Bob Dylan was burning out his life in pursuit of a wild, thin, Mercury sound. And it appears he cancelled all his corporate contracts and obligations by telling his manager, his record company, and presumably his friends that imagined they knew him beyond an image, that he had crashed his bike, so he needed to retreat to be with his family and re-emerge as a human being years later, before the fates or corporations requested his return to the road. And he did so by painting his face white and singing strange tales of the metamorphosis of Isis as he placed himself again within a movie, a magic show, a light on the wall of the cave. And decades later, Bob Dylan would be asked, why does he go on? How does he go on? How does he live on the road in an alien life? And he said he answers to the commander-in-chief, because he had been down to the crossroads to make that deal. And it seems in exchange you get fame and wealth for your life force. One can only imagine this chief is some symbol of Satan or Lucifer, who grants you keys to worldly pleasures in exchange for eternal treasures, because Hollywood sells us ideas of freedom, romantic individualism that casts a spell, an illusion of two-dimensional freedom on two wheels, like Marlon Brando. And in all our strange dreams, perhaps the strangest is the idea we have free will, because perhaps free will only exists in how we react to the fates before we awaken, because otherwise we live within the unconscious desires and traumas of our shadow self bubbling under the surface. It's what we fail to bring in metamorphosis from the unconscious to the conscious. We call fate, because we're layers within layers, wheels within wheels, attempting to understand what we are limited to by the hardware, the human brain. And we can only look at patterns, we can only look at associations and wonder if those celebrated by Hollywood can ever be a genuine, real human being, or if they are all part of an endless spectacle in the magical theater of the absurd. That is the 2D society we look out upon. Strange things happen on full moons. People are pulled like the tide to do things they feel they must do. To go to a particular place at a particular time. Of course, it would be too much to pass away at 3:30 a.m. Instead, at least, we can allow the creeping doubt of reality to enter our consciousness, that such strange things might occur in the threading fingers of the emergent dawn at 4:30 a.m. just to make things less obvious. It's always a strange thing to offer opinions people we don't know or never met. And find ourselves casting judgment on second-hand information. But on these crossroads that we walk through, we pity the man who doesn't understand. Life is an endless series of crossroads to pass through. It's never one and done on this side of the mirror. We just observe time and place and moment in history where our consciousness is forced to react with the unreality of mass media. That means everything that crosses the boundary of your own perception and mind must be considered if it is true or false. To accept the responsibility that we can only truly know what we ourselves experience as a fractal microcosm, a refraction of light through the prism, granting us this unique experience. And in all the interaction we have in this life, and all the energies, personalities, ideas and ideologies we rub up against, we wonder if this society is one where everything is untrue and nothing is permitted. Surely the first thing we do when we pass through the veil is look back and laugh at the karma that was attempting to transmute, transform our soul in an ultimate alchemical reality, a nameless tradition we're born into. And to wake up means to be born again every day, while knowing this earth is the only place where we can have a tree with roots. As human beings are like an antenna between heaven and earth, waiting to be struck by lightning. And what games do the great deceivers play in this realm? What bargains are made for fame? Are you only truly free at the game in death or retirement into the crowd with another name, face and number attached to your soul for the all-seeing eye to monitor in this existence? And in the end, We can all only look in the mirror and ask if it is only the good that die young. Before we were entangled in compromise, and the natural genius of our organic mind was overwritten with ideology. And what does success mean in this world if it is only something to be rationed out? By the magicians of Babylon. We're told the light of the moon is a reflection but it has its own cold gravitational glow, drawing us towards a memory we can never fully recall. A strange attractor to strange things. That draws us to sleep. The eternity of a strawberry bed. But we're all just watching the passing show as we pass through the eye of the needle.